Hi, welcome to Reading the Bible with Nikki and Kelso, who doesn't want to read the Bible. This show is, hold on, what is it?
I said I'm just leaving.
No, you got to tell me the thing about buffaloes.
What? That you can just say buffalo, 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 buffalo?
Yeah, he said this is a full sentence.
It is. And in fact, you can say buffalo, 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 buffalo. And that is a grammatically correct sentence.
Then no, there needs to be commas.
Nope.
Yeah.
It does not need to be punctuated at all.
It needs commas.
Because
Is that many?
This thing does that thing, which does that thing, which does that thing, which does that thing, which does that thing. It is just that. You don't need to punctuate it at all, besides the period at the end.
Yeah, see, that don't make no sense to me. It needs commas. Just it in my way, lists of things needs commas. And that is a list of the word buffalo.
But it's not a list, it's a sentence.
Craziest sentence I've ever heard of. Anyway, welcome to Reading the Bible with Nikki. This show is not family friendly, nor will it ever be. I am your narrator on this here journey of the Old Testament. I am the charismatic, infallible enigma known as Nikki K. Because I'm awesome. Take your pills. We're only an hour late. So make sure you took your pills. Double check the scrunchy watch. It says pill time. And then pack a bowl. Grab your smokes, which I'm out of smokes, but grab your smokes. Get comfy. And then make sure you have your reward for keeping other people alive so they can play Call of Duty and cuss at God, because that's a thing that people do. And then let's smoke it, drink it, and read it. Guess what else? We're on the last book. And it's only 14 chapters long. And then we've only got the book of Sirach left. And then we start Maccabees, which I figure we could read Maccabees before we read the New Testament. So, from what I understand, it's the history of the characters of the New Testament. So, I figure we can read Maccabees and learn stuff about these here characters, and then read the New Testament. And I will do my best not to make Jesus cuss, but you have to understand my disdain for these people. It'll be so hard not to cuss at them, but I will do my best, because I've been thinking about it. Like, do we really want to Nickonize Jesus? Like, do I want Jesus to talk like Nikki? And seeing as I can't talk like anybody else but Nikki, I can't even talk like Jesus. I am going to try to... no, trying is failing. You can't try anything, you just do it. So, I am going to attempt to not Nickonize Jesus, but I can't promise. I've been talking to the big guy about it. He hasn't really said anything. He just said, read the Bible. So, I'm reading the Bible. out loud on camera. So, just from me to you, I'm going to do my best not to nickinize Jesus. But before we even go to the New Testament, I'm going to read Maccabees and get a feel for the characters. You know how movies start at the end and work their way to the beginning? That's what we're going to do with Maccabees. We're going to start at the end and work our way to the beginning. So, this is the last book of the Old Testament, and it's Daniel. Oh man, I've never heard this story, or maybe I have heard this story, or no, I'm sorry. It was David was the Meshach and Abednego. So never mind. Daniel is different. So let's read the story of Daniel. And we'll actually get at the ending. I do not know the ending of this story. I've never heard anything about Daniel. Like all the other books, I've never heard the endings of any of these stories. Only bits and pieces. So we're about to find out what the fuck happened. And it's gonna be great, I think. Okay, so we're on Daniel chapter 1. Oh, yeah, here we go. It's the beginning of the end. All right, give me 1 second. Okay, chapter 1. We're going all the way back to Joachim. Oh my God. This should be just all, these last couple books should just be called The Chronicles of Nebuchadnezzar. Chad for short. Oh my God. I'm never going to get that out of my head. It's Chad for short. Could you imagine calling that guy Chad? I don't know who that was. The Lord handed over Joachim, the KOJ, some of the Shengat's house, which he carried off to Shinar, and placed in the temple treasury of his gold. The king told Ashpenaz, the chief chamberlain, to bring some of the Israelites, some of the royal and nobility. They should be young men without defect, handsome, proficient in wisdom, well informed, insightful, such as could take their place in the king's palace. He was to teach them the language and literature of the Chaldeans. Okay, so Nebuchadnezzar seems like he's from like the Asian lands, but he's gonna teach them the language of the Chaldeans. Okay, I don't get. Maybe it's because the Chaldeans don't like Israel. So they teamed up with Nebuchadnezzar. I think that's what it said, right? The Chaldeans teamed up with him. And the king allotted them a daily portion of food. This motherfucker. It was my neighbor raccoons eating all my outside cat food. Oh, man, I guess I'm feeding everything outside. The king allotted them a daily portion of food and wine from the royal table. After 3 years training, they were to enter the king's service. Among these were Judeans, Daniel, Mananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. The chief chamberlain changed. Oh, this is. So they changed their names to Belteshazzar, Hananiah, Shadrach, Mishael, Meshach, Azariah. No, I'm sorry. Belteshazzar, Shadrach, Belteshazzar, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I knew that. I felt like I've read this before. But Daniel was resolved not to defile himself with the king's food or wine. So he begged the chief chamberlain, spare him his defilement. Though God had given Daniel favor and sympathy, he said to Daniel, I'm afraid of my Lord King, who allotted your food and drink. If he sees you look thinner in comparison to the other young men, you will danger my life. Then Daniel said, uh, then Daniel said, uh, please test your servants for 10 days. Let us be given vegetables to eat and drink. Vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then see how we look in comparison with the other young men. And treat your servants according to what you see. He agreed and tested them for 10 days. After 10 days, they looked healthier and better fed than any of the young men who ate at the royal tables. So the steward continued to take away the food and wine they were to receive and gave them vegetables. These 4 young men God gave knowledge and proficiency in all literature. And to Daniel, the understanding of all visions and dreams. Why do I feel like I've read this? At the end of the time the king had specified for their preparation, Jude brought them to Nebuchadnezzar. When the king had spoken with all of them, none was found equal to Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah. There was none found equal to Daniel. So they entered the king's service. In any question of wisdom or understanding, which the king put to them, he found them 10 times better than any of the magicians and enchanters in his kingdom. Daniel remained until the first year of King Cyrus. And Cyrus is the one who let them all go. Okay. And Cyrus is the one who let them all go. or something close to that, I think. Nebuchadnezzar's dream. Why do I feel like I've read this before? In the second year of his reign, Nebuchadnezzar had a dream which left him with no rest and robbed him of his sleep. So he ordered the magicians, enchanters, sorcerers, and Chaldeans be summoned to interpret the dream for them. When they came and presented themselves to the king, he said to them, I had a dream which won't let me sleep. I need to know what it means. And the Chaldeans answered in Aramaic. Oh, why is that itchy? O king, O king, tell your servants the dream, and we will give its meaning. And then the king was like, this is what I have decided. Unless you can tell me the dream and its meaning, you shall be cut to pieces, and your house is made into an outhouse. But if you tell me the dream and its meaning, you shall receive from me gifts and presents, great honors. Therefore, tell me what I dreamed and what it means. And then they said, tell us your dream and we'll tell you what it means. How are we supposed to know? And the king's like, the clock is running. Like, are you going to tell me or not? If you do not tell me, there can be but one decree from you. You have conspired to represent false and deceitful interpretation to me until the crisis has passed. Tell me the dream so I may be sure that you gave me the correct answer. You motherfuckers are always tricking me. The Chaldeans answered the king, there is not a man on earth who can do what you ask. O king, never has any king, however great and mighty, as such a thing of a magician, enchanter, or Chaldean. What you demand is too difficult. There is no one who can tell it except the gods who do not dwell among people of flesh. Tell that to the Greeks. At this, the king became violently angered and ordered all the wise men of Babylon to be put to death. So he's like, oh yeah, I got you. I got you all day. When the decree was issued, that the wise men should be slain, Daniel and his companions were also sought. Then Daniel prudently took counsel with Arioch, the chief of the king's guard, who had set out to kill the wise men of Babylon. He asked Arioch, what is the reason for this harsh order? And then he was like, hold on. So Daniel asked, what is the reason? Okay, so it looks like this guy told them he was about to go kill the people. And then Daniel asked why. And then Daniel went and asked for time from the king that he might give him the whole interpretation. So Daniel went home and informed his companions that they might implore the mercy of God in heaven to regard this mystery, so that Daniel and his companions might not perish with the rest of the wise men. Why does this feel like we've read this before? During the night, the mystery was revealed to Daniel in a vision, and he blessed God. He said, "Blessed be the name of the God forever and ever, for wisdom and power are his. He causes the changes of the times and seasons, establishes kings and deposes them. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to those who understand. He reveals deep and hidden things and knows what is in the darkness, for the light dwells within him. To you, God of my ancestors, I give thanks and praise, because you have given me wisdom and power. Now you have shown me what we asked of you. You have made known to us the king's dream." So Daniel went to Arioch, whom the king had appointed to destroy the wise men from Babylon, and said, "Don't put these men to death. Bring me before the king, and I will tell him the interpretation of the dream." So he was brought swiftly, and he said, I have a man among the Judean exiles who can give the interpretation. And then the king asked Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar. He said, "What's up? You got it?" And Daniel was like, "The mystery about which the king has inquired, the wise men, enchanters, magicians, and diviners could not explain. But there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries." What's up?
Nothing. Hold on.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
And he has shown King Nebuchadnezzar what is to happen in the last days. This was your dream, visions you saw as you laid in your bed. To you, in your bed, there came thoughts about what should happen in the future. And he who reveals mysteries showed you what is to be. To me, also, this mystery has been revealed. Not that I am wiser than any living person, but in order that its meaning may be known to you, that you may understand the thoughts of your mind. In a vision, you saw a statue, very large and exceedingly bright, terrifying in appearance, and it stood before you. Its head was gold, its chest and arms were silver, its bellies and thighs bronze, and its legs iron, and its feet partly iron and partly clay. See, we've read this before. Or it's the same one with, what's his face? Ahab, maybe? While you watched the the stone hewn from a mountain without a hand being put on it, and struck its iron and clay feet, breaking them to pieces. The iron, clay, bronze, silver, and gold crumbled all at once. This sounds like what the fuck? The gods over there in Ireland and the fuck is the name of that place? It's where my cat's from. Manx. The place that speaks Manx. Don't they have like a thing where their gods were throwing rocks at each other and shit? That's what this sounds like. The iron, clay, bronze, silver, and gold all crumbled at once, fine as the chaff on the threshing floor in summer, and the wind blew them away without leaving a trace. But the stone that struck the statue became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. This was the dream, the interpretation we shall also give. You, O King, are the King of Kings. To you, the God of heaven has given dominion and strength, power and glory. Human beings, wild beasts, birds of the air, wherever they may dwell, he has handed over to you, making you ruler over them all. You are the head of gold. Another kingdom shall take your place, inferior to yours. Then a third kingdom of bronze, which shall rule over the whole earth. There shall be a fourth kingdom, strong as iron. It shall break in pieces and subdue all these others, just as iron breaks in pieces and crushes everything else. Save America, big guy. The feet and the toes you saw, partly of clay and partly of iron, mean that it shall be a divided kingdom, but yet have some of the hardness of iron, as you saw the iron mixed with clay tile. And the toes partly iron and partly clay. The kingdom shall partly be strong and partly fragile. The iron mixed with the clay means they shall seal their alliances by intermarriage, but they shall not stay united any more than the iron mixes with clay. Is this the 13 Jew families? Because, yeah, those motherfuckers need to go places. There's 13 Jew families. In the lifetime of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that shall never be destroyed or delivered to another. Rather, it shall break in pieces all these kingdoms and put an end to them, and it shall stand forever. Hold on. In the lifetime of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that shall never be destroyed or delivered to another people. Rather, it shall break in pieces all the kingdoms and put it, yes. Hopefully, this is America. That is the meaning of the stone you saw hewn from the mountain, without a hand being put to it, which broke it in pieces. The iron, bronze, clay, silver, and gold. The great God has revealed to the king what shall be in the future. This is exactly what you dreamed, and its meaning is sure. Then Chad fell down and worshiped Daniel and ordered sacrifice and incense offered to him. And then Daniel was like, truly, your God is God of the gods and Lord of kings, revealer of mysteries, revealer of mysteries. And that is why you are able to do this. He advanced Daniel to high priest, gave him many generous presents, made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon, and chief perfect over all the wise men of Babylon. And the wise men of Babylon. That's not the words to that song. At Daniel's request, the king made Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego administrators of the province of Babylon, while Daniel himself remained at the king's court. Why, I don't know. I don't know why I feel like I've read this before. All right, give me 1 second. What are we at? 32 minutes, man. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, chapter 3. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. This one's called The Fiery Furnace. King Nebuchadnezzar had a golden statue made, 60 cubits high, 6 cubits wide, which he set up in the plain of Dura, in the province of Babylon. He then ordered the satraps, prefects, and governors, the counselors, treasurers, judges, magistrates, all of the officials of the provinces summoned to the dedication of the statue which Chad had set up. The satraps, prefectors, governors, counselors, treasurers, judges, magistrates, and all the officials came together for the dedication and stood before the statue that Chad had set up. A herald cried out, nations and people of every language, when you hear the sound of the horn, pipe, zither, dulcimer, harp, double flute, and all other musical instruments, you must fall down and worship the golden statue which Chad has set up. Whoever does not fall down and worship shall instantly be cast into a white hot furnace. Why do I feel like I've read this before? Okay. I guess not. Therefore, as soon as they heard the sound of all the instruments, the nation and the people of every language fell down and worshiped the golden statue of Chad. At that point, some of the Chaldeans had and accused the Jews. At some point, some of the Chaldeans came and accused the Jews to Chad. O king, live forever. O king, you issued a decree that everyone heard the sound of all the instruments should fall down and worship. Whoever did not was cast into a furnace. There are certain Jews whom you have made administrators. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. These men, O king, have paid no attention to you. They will not serve your God or worship the golden statue that you had put up. And then Chad flew into a rage and sent for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who were promptly brought before the king. And Chad was like, "Is it true? You will not serve my God or worship my golden statue? Now, if you are ready to fall down and worship this statue I made, whenever you hear all these musical instruments, then all will be well. If not, you're going to be instantly cast into the white hot furnace. And who is a God who can deliver you from my hands?" And then they was like, "There is no need for us to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If our God, whom we serve, can save us from that furnace and from you, king, can he fucking say yes? Let him. Let him do whatever you want to do, dude. Fuck you." Why do I feel like we've read this before? But even if he will not, you should know that we will not serve your God or worship your statue. You're out of your fucking mind. Nebuchadnezzar's face became livid with utter rage against the three, and he ordered the furnace to be heated 7 times more than usual. Yeah, they're about to do it, dude. Man. And had some of the strongest men in his army bind the three and cast them into the white hot furnace. And they were bound and cast into the white hot furnace with their trousers, so with all their clothes on. For the king's order was urgent, so huge, a fire was kindled in the furnace. The flames devoured the men who threw the three into it. But these three fell bound into the midst of the white hot furnace. A prayer of Azariah. They walked about in the flames, singing to God and blessing the Lord. I thought they were bound. Well, I guess the fire would have unburned undid their ropes and shit, right? Azariah stood up in the midst of a fire. Okay, so this one is Bendigo. And prayed out loud. Blessed are you and praiseworthy, O Lord, the God of our ancestors, and glorious forever is your name. For you are just in all you have done. All your deeds are faultless, all your ways right, and your judgments proper. You have executed proper judgments, and that you have brought upon us and upon Jerusalem, the holy city of our ancestors. By proper judgment, you have done all this because of our sins. For we have sinned and transgressed by departing from you, and we have done every kind of evil. Your commandments we have not heeded or observed, nor have we done as you ordered for our, nor have we done as you ordered us for our own good. Therefore, therefore, all you have brought upon us, all you have done to us, you have done by a proper judgment. Yes, because you people fucking suck. You have handed us over to our enemies, lawless and hateful rebels, to an unjust king, the worst in all the world. Yeah. Now we cannot open our mouths. Shame and reproach have come upon us, your servants who revere you. For your name's sake, do not deliver us up forever, or make voyage your covenant. Do not take away your mercy. For the sake of Abe, your beloved Isaac, and Jacob, your holy one. How though? How? And like when? I want to know when. When? To whom you promise to multiply. To whom you promise to multiply their offspring, like stars of heaven, or the land on the shore of the sea. For we are reduced, O Lord, beyond any other nation. You started out that way also. Brought low everywhere in the world to this day because of our sins. We have in our day no prince, prophet, or leader. That's not true, because yes, you do. As a matter of fact, you have a prophet not too far from you, Jeremiah. No burnt offering, sacrifice, oblation, or incense. No place to offer first fruits and find favor with you. But with contrite heart and humble spirit, let us be received. As though it were burnt offerings of rams, bulls, or tens of thousand lambs, fat lambs. So let our sacrifices be in your presence today, and find favor before you. Those who trust in you cannot be put to shame. And now we follow you with our whole heart. We fear you and seek your face. Do not put us to shame, but deal with us in your kindness and great mercy. Deliver us in accord with your wonders. Bring glory to your name, O Lord. Let those be put to shame who inflict evil on your servants. Let them be ashamed and powerless, and their strength broken. Let them know that you alone are the Lord God, glorious over the whole world. Now, king's servants who had thrown them in continued to stoke the furnace with naphtha, pitch, tow, and brush. I don't know what a naphtha is. I know what kafta is. That's food. It's like an all meat shish kebab. But I don't know what this is. What the fuck am I doing? Oh, the playoffs start. I don't know when. A flame, a hydrocarbon mixture. Naphtha have been produced from natural gas, condensates, petroleum, distillates. Okay, so it's a fire thing. And the flames rose 49 cubits above the furnace and spread out, burning the Chaldeans that caught around the furnace. But the angel of the Lord went down from the furnace. But the angel of the Lord went into the furnace with Azariah and his companions and drove the fiery flames out of the furnace. And made the inside of the furnace as though a dew-laden breeze were blowing through it. The fire in no way touched them or caused them pain or harm. When these three in the furnace with one voice sang, glorifying and blessing God. Blessed are you, O God, the God of our ancestors, praiseworthy and exalted above all forever. And blessed is your holy and glorious name, praiseworthy and exalted above all for all ages. Blessed are you in the temple of your holy glory, praiseworthy and glorious above all forever. Blessed are you on the throne of your kingdom, praiseworthy and exalted above all forever. Blessed are you who look into the depths. From your throne, from your throne upon the cherubim, praiseworthy and exalted above all forever. Blessed are you in the firmament, I hate that word, of heaven. So remember, it's the see-through emerald shit. It's the floor. Praiseworthy and glorious forever. Bless the Lord, all you works of the Lord. Praise and exalt him above all forever. Angels of the Lord, bless the Lord. Praise and exalt him above all forever. You, heavens, bless the Lord. Praise and exalt him above all forever. All you waters above the heavens, bless the Lord. Praise and exalt him forever. All you powers, bless the Lord. Praise and exalt him above all forever. Sun and moon, bless the Lord. Praise and exalt him above all forever. Stars of heaven, bless the Lord. Praise and exalt him above all forever. Every shower and dew, bless the Lord. Praise and exalt him above all forever. All you winds, fire and heat, cold and chill, dew and rain, frost and chill, hoarfrost and snow, nights and days, light and dark, lightnings and clouds. Bless the Lord, praise and exalt him above all forever. Let the earth be blessed, Lord. Praise and exalt him above all forever. Mountains and hills, everything growing on earth, you springs, seas and rivers, sea monsters and all water creatures, birds, what is it? Birds, beasts, wild and tame, mortals, O Israel, priests of the Lord, servants of the Lord, spirits and souls of the just, holy and humble of heart, Hananiah, Azariah, Mishael. Okay. Bless the Lord. Praise and exalt him above all forever. For he has delivered us from Sheol and saved us from the power of death. He has freed us from the raging flame and delivered us from the fire. Give thanks to the Lord, who is good, whose mercy endures forever. God bless the God of gods, all you who fear the Lord. Praise and give thanks, for his mercy endures forever. Deliverance from the furnace. Then Chad, startled, and rose in haste, asking his counselors, "Did we not cast the men and bind them into fire?" And they was like, yeah. And then he said, "I see 4 men, unbound and unhurt, walking," I'm sorry about that, "walking in the fire, and the 4th looks like a son of God." Says a son of God, not the son of God. I was arguing about this. So, everybody says it's Jesus. But aren't the sons of God, or the son of God, the sons of God, aren't they angels? But I don't know. I'm not a Bible expert yet. Then Chad came to the opening of the white hot furnace and called, "You 3, servants of the Most High God, come out." Thereupon the 3 came out of the fire. Then the satraps, prefects, governors, so all the men of the king came together, and they saw that the fire had no power over the bodies of these men. Not a hair had been singed, nor were their clothes burned. There was not even a smell of fire on them. And Chad explained, "Blessed be the God of these three, who sent his angel to deliver the servants that trusted in him. They disobeyed the royal command and yielded their bodies rather than serve or worship any god except their own. Therefore, I decree for nations and people of every language that whoever blasphemes these three's God shall be cut to pieces and his house made into an outhouse. For there is no God other than God who can rescue like this." Then the king promoted the three in the province of Babylon, and then Chad to the nation and the peoples of every language, wherever they dwell on earth. May your peace be abound. For it seemed good to me to publish the signs and wonders which the Most High God has accomplished in my regard. How great are his signs, how mighty are his wonders. His kingship is an everlasting kingship, and his dominion endures through all generations. You could just end that story right there with that. But that's insane. Why do I feel like I've read this before? Oh my God. This has literally been through an hour. Oh my God. I'm such a terrible, I'm so bad. Oh, I suck at life. Okay. All right. So I guess that was it. I love you and thank you for watching, and have the sweetest dreams ever.